Hello, Tiffany here with Cards Crafty Creations. So today I'm actually going to do just a really quick and simple watercoloring using these Tombow dual brush markers and a couple of different stamp sets. I'm going to use the watering can. This is from my monthly Hero Arts kit. I don't remember what month that was for. And then I'm going to use the pumpkin from another monthly Hero Arts kit. And I'm also going to use some of the foliage from Art Impressions watercolor stamp set. So I'm going to use the grasses and this foliage right here. And then I'm going to use this little one for the top of the pumpkin stamps. So first I'm going to start off with my watering can, and this is, I'm actually using Tim Holtz Distress Marker also, so I have a variety. And this is weathered wood, and you just color over this. I think the marker is running out a little bit, so if I dip it in water it'll kind of liven it back up again, since we're going to watercolor with it anyway. I'm not going to do the top because we're going to have the foliage coming over the top. So I'm just going to kind of hit up the areas that's not touched with foliage. And I'm just going to stamp that there. And then what I'll do is just take a brush and kind of go along those lines. Spread the ink out. And that's how you get the watercolor effect. You do want to keep in mind that you're going to have highlights and shadows, so you got to figure out where's your light source coming from. Probably going to have the light hitting the front of the can, so that means that the two sides are going to have darker shadows on them. Bottom of the watering can obviously will be darker. And then I think I want a little bit more darkness in there, so I'm going to bring this back over, and you can just color some ink on there and take your brush and pick it up and put it on and spread it out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let that dry for just a minute, and now I'm going to, I think I'm just going to put in a little bit of a greenish background before I stamp the flowers on. And that I'm going to use a, let's see, frayed burlap is kind of a nice color. I created me a color chart. These are the Tombow dual brush markers I have, and then these are the Tim Holtz Distress markers. And I think I'm going to use this frayed burlap as the background to my flower bouquet. So I'm just going to put some ink on my stamping block and take that and kind of just spread it around. It'll give me a good background color behind my flower bouquet and the foliage that we're going to stamp on the top. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my pumpkins. Like I said, I got the pumpkin from the Hero Arts monthly card kit. And what I'll do is I'm going to use the Tim Holtz Distress markers and Spice Marmalade. And I'm going to only color the portion that is going to sit behind the watering can. going to take the other image from my monthly Hero Arts kit, and it's just a flower bouquet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the color, since this is going to be a fall card, I think I'm going to try and make them red flowers. So I'm going to take the fired brick, and this one is running out. So I'm just going to, and I don't want to go all the way to the bottom because remember I'm going to put that green foliage in there. So I'm just going to hit it definitely where the flowers are and down a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this right over the top of the watering can. And now we have some autumn kind of flowers there. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stamping our grass, and I'm going to start with the back. The grass in the back is going to be taller, and it's going to be a little bit darker than the grass. No, it's going to be lighter than the grass in the front. So I'm going to start with a green shade. I think I'm going to go with this color here, 173. I don't know what color it's actually called because there's just numbers on there, but I'm going to color over this. Alright, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stamp out our darker green foliage on the watering can right here. So I'm going to stick that on my stamping platform, and then I'm going to use Mode Lawn Distress Ink. I'm just going to color over that. And stamp that there. Now I'll take the water brush and kind of blend that out just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to take my other grass. Well, actually, I never put the stems on the pumpkin. So I've got this little tiny leaf here. I put the stems on, I didn't put any foliage. And I'm just going to stamp a little leaf coming out the top of the pumpkin. I'll have to. Okay, and then I'll take the water again and just kind of go over those so they kind of blend out. Okay. Then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our smaller grass and I'm going to use, I think 245 from Tombow. Back in and do the foliage one more time, and then I think I'm going to add in some of this kind of ivy stuff as well. So I think I'll start with the ivy first. And I'm going to do this in the mowed lawn also. I think I'm just going to tuck them in there. Okay, and then what I want to do next is, I don't think I'm gonna do any painting on those, but what I want to do next is just put another pass of the darker foliage there. And I think I'm gonna use this darker color. So we're just gonna have several layers on here. I'm just gonna do that. And that just kind of darkened up that area. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is put in some sky. So I'm just gonna take my block, and I think I'm gonna use, let's see, try to get the right color. This one, 452 for the sky, and I'm just gonna put it on the block, and then I'm gonna take my paintbrush and do the color directly from there. So that just about sums up this this card here. I'm going to now, what I'll do is I'll put a little sentiment on it, and then I'll mount it to a card base, and then it's ready to go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back with other videos soon. Alright, thanks.